Why, hello there. It's been a while. Been working away for quite a while now, so I suppose it's time I better get a review up for you. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Diatone Gtr 349, aka the Rabbit. Righty then, so I suppose we better just get into it, hadn't we? It's been a while since I've done one of these, as per you. I seem to say that on every single video. It's been a while since I've done a review. It's normally because I've been mad busy though for weeks and I haven't had a chance to. So anyway, yeah, this is the Diatone Gtr 349. As you can see up here, it's called the Rabbit. I've made a couple of minor little changes because the one I ordered was the wrong one. Like an idiot, I ordered the one with a 16:9 camera instead of a 4x3, so I've had to change the camera because the camera that I ordered it with, it doesn't seem, well, you don't seem to be able to change it between 4.3 and 16.9. And then obviously I've changed the usual thing that you'd normally change, which is the FPV antenna. So we're now running a Lumineer Axi with a really stubby connection on it. To be fair, it's tiny, but I'll show you that in a minute. On this itself, as you can see on the box, it says here we've got we did have a Runcam Swift. We've now got a Runcam Racer in there. It comes with the Runcam TX 200 VTX. It's also got a set of Mamba 1408 4000 kV motors, and the ESC is the Mamba all-in-one, which is a 25 amp to 45 amp is what it says, but that I don't believe that for 1 minute. It is a 25 amp. And then let me see, flight controller is the F405 Mini, which is Mamba one. So you can buy the ESC and the flight controller as a single unit. You can buy them obviously, you know, to stick in other quads, but from what I've seen with this, it's an absolute rocket ship with it in, and it flies really flipping well. We get to the flight footage in a minute. It's a 3-inch quad with 135mm between motor and motor, so it's 135 from there to there. So it's a tiny little thing, like weighs 130 grams or so they say, which we will check in a moment. The quad itself, it seems like it's got really good construction. It is genuine carbon fibre, and if I can find, I love having shelving now in my office because it's making a massive difference for me for finding things. So we've got vernier gauge. We'll just give it a quick measure and see. So as you can see, it's on 0. We'll just see how thick these arms are. It'd help if I unlocked it, wouldn't it? It's always the way, innit, when you try and do a video, something cocks up. Right, so the arms are 4.28mm or so, that says, so we'll just call it 4mm. So you've got 4mm arms on there. The bottom plate is also, if I remember correctly, 4mm. It has aluminium standoffs at the front, and then at the back, and then in the front it has like these little lugs which are recessed into the plastic. The plastic itself is quite hard. It's not bad. It's not bad, to be fair. It's got a little bit of flex to it as and when you need it, but you know it's hard enough to protect everything that's in there. It does also obviously come with a battery strap. It doesn't come with these the arm protectors I've printed. Incidentally, on Thingyverse, I'll put a link in the description to this video. There is a Canopy on Thingyverse that you can print in TPU as well if you so wish. Props wise, they are I had one of Diatone's own props. As you can see, they've took a little bit of a beating. That one's ever so slightly bent on the front left hand motor, but hey ho. It flies epically well, to be honest with you, as you'll see from the flight footage. I'm more than made up with the way it flies. It flies a lot better than the Emax Baby Hawk. The Emax Baby Hawk on 4S is just ridiculous. You can't fly it. It just goes all over the place. I've managed to blow the ESC up on the Baby Hawk I was sent. So I didn't have much in the way of hopes for this, but to be fair, it's stood up and it's held its test of time. I've had it for 2 weeks now. I've been giving it a kick in most days, to be honest with you. When I finish work on my way home, I will take it out for a quick rip and just go and do a couple of batteries with it because it's just small and convenient and easy to do. The receiver that's in there, I've got an XM Plus buried in the top up here, So it has got obviously diversity on it, and it's full range receiver as well, because I run FR Sky. That's what you'd use as the XM Plus in something like this, unless I have seen many people putting Crossfire on them. Flight times wise, I've been getting around about 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes. That's genuinely kicking its face in as well for 5 minutes. It's just brilliant. Battery wise, I am using the Tattoo 650s. They're 75C, so they've got more than enough punch, to be honest with you, for something that's like this. I'm saying I'm getting around about 5 minutes out of them. Within the box, when it turns up, obviously it doesn't have the props on, and you get a little bag with the nuts in. But you do also get a few other bits if you order it from Banggood anyway, which is where I've got this one from. There'll be a link in the description to this exact one if anybody would like to go purchase. So obviously you've got the lid, we don't want that. Right, so you get whatever the hell that is, safety and support from Diatone. So that's like a little thing, basically if you have a problem you can email them and see what happens. Now Diatone's customer service does seem to be pretty good, to be fair, so we may end up using that at some stage later on down the line, but at the minute we don't need it, so bye. You also get a manual, which is not the best of manuals, to be fair. It tells you a little bit about the ESC, and also tells you a little bit about the flight controller, depending on which one it's got in it. If you've obviously got the F405 here, which is the the full size one, and then this is the mini, which is obviously is what's in the little quad. So the F405 itself it's got an MPU 6000 gyro on it, which is the good one. The MPU 6000 is the one that doesn't tend to give you major oscillations and problems. You've got 16 mega flash memory on there if you so wish to use black box, but to be fair, I don't bother with that, so that doesn't matter. It has got built-in OSD. Incidentally as well, with the VTX runs on the Tramp smart audio thing, so in which case you can log into it via your Taranis and change all your VTX settings, providing you've got the Betaflight app thing on your Taranis. It's got a 5V 1A BEC on it. It'll take 2 to 4S lipos. What's that mounting 20mm? Oh right, that's the standoffs at the back are a 20mm and they're M3. So the input is 2 to 4S lipo, so obviously 2S is 7.4V, 4S is 16.8, and 3S is 11.1. The flight controller on its own is 3.5 grams, and the ESC is 6.6 grams. So yeah, my maths is shit, so you can figure out what that actually is. The ESC does use D-Shot 600, which is what I'm currently running on, and it flies brilliantly. It's a 25 amp all-in-one. Obviously 2 to 4S, as I said before. Continuous current can be 20 amps, and then obviously the burst current's 25. To be fair, you're not really going to pull 25 amps on this, especially on 4S. It says 5S there. I do not recommend doing it with 5S. There are people that have done it, but personally, if it was me, I would expect the ESC to blow its arse if that was the case. So yeah, anyway, so you get a little manual. It's nothing special, but it gives you a little bit of information, and obviously gives you the pinouts as well for what's what on the flight controller, which in some respects is helpful. Well, in every respect is helpful. You get some very nice Diatone stickers in here. Stickers are always good. Stick them on your PC, stick them on your 3D printers, stick them on your head for all I care, but that's just how it is. Right, parts wise, it's quite nice that they've included all of this lot. I'll just get this out, because it makes a change for an almost ready to fly plug and play drone, quad, to turn up with extra bits, which isn't normally the case. So within here we have, if you've ever heard of Uma Grip, and it's basically what you do is you stick it on your quad and then it's for your batteries. This is Diatone's version of it, and it does work quite well, to be fair. I haven't managed to eject the battery off it in all the crashes I've had with the thing already. Throw that over there, and they give you loads of it as well, so you're not going to use all of it. I've literally got, if you look on the bottom, I've got one strip that runs the length of the quad. I had to cut a little section out for the battery strap because that was bulging, but other than that, just chop that little bit out and away we went. Right, also in the baggies that come with it, we have I haven't even looked in these myself, so this is all all new to me. Right. So you get a few zip ties, which you'll probably use for mounting antennas, or just do what I've done and throw one out the back and one out the hole in the top that's pre-made for it, and away you go. You also get, what's in here? Oh, a little buzzer. That's cool. I didn't know it came with that. I'll be fitting that in a minute. In fact, it doesn't matter. It's got these shots, so you can use the other buzzer that's built into it. I'll do a little video on how to do that. It also comes with a little XT30 connector as well. Now, this will be your battery side. So if you have any other small, 2, 3 or 4S batteries, you can literally just solder that on the way you go. And then, oh, that's nice as well. They've included a full screw set. And they're all labelled up pretty blatantly what they are, if you can see. Excuse me. So, give you a few extra screws, which is nice. You don't tend to see that with many frame manufacturers nowadays. A couple of extra battery straps. That's always helpful. Are they the same length? Let us check. No, they're bloody massive. No, so you got two different length battery straps, which is always good. If you're going to put a big mad battery like an 850 or something on it, then in which case you can use the bigger one. Or if you're going to use something like a little 350 or a 400 or whatever, you can use the smaller one, which is always good. You also have an extra cable to go between the ESC and the flight controller. Now, I was wondering what this little plug was for, and now obviously because I've seen the buzzer, I know exactly what it's for now. So yeah, it's good that it comes with that. And then you also get 2 extra canopies, so you can either run the clear one, which is obviously what I've currently got on the quad at the minute, as you can see, which is quite nice, or you can have a black one, which also comes with obviously in the kit, or you can have a white one, depending on how you want to go. So to be fair, it's more fly if you want them that likes colour code and everything. Which, if I give you a quick look at my wall, if we just spin this camera about, so as you can see, I like to, in some respects, colour code what I can. You have to excuse the noise as well. Printers are running, and that one's got a big massive owl on it. Anyway, so back to where we were. So I think we better get it chucked on the scales as well, hadn't we, eh? Just while I've got them sat here, so we'll just turn them on and let them zero. Now obviously the world at the present moment is all going drone hatred, and due to the fact of that, there's a lot of issues with now people having to registration all over the world now, or having to register, should I say, all over the world now, which to me doesn't really solve anything. You register, it's just easier for, number one, people to pin things on you, because obviously they'll know exactly where you live. If there's been a drone sighting 20 foot away from your house, then you're basically having it and it's your fault. Also as well, I'm not being funny, but if a drone hits a plane, it's gonna fucking well explode. You ain't gonna find any bits of it. So that being the case, realistically, there's no point in registration. The awareness is where it more needs to be, as far as I'm concerned. And obviously, people, the thing with the tests and stuff, and people need to learn and do a test before they fly. Yeah, I sort of agree with that. But the registration thing to me is just a load of bollocks. Anyway, rant over. So it weighs. Let's see. Turn the scales back on again, as soon as they decided to go mad. Oh yeah, that was what I was getting at. Anyway, so everywhere now, basically, if you're over 250 grams, then basically you're fucked, and you've got to register. So this is the type of thing that people are going to mainly be flying, I suspect, soon. Because obviously it's under 200, well, I'm hoping it's under 250 grams with a battery. So let's see, pop it on. So the quad itself is 140, so it said on the box 130. Possibly, obviously I've added a little antenna, and the camera's ever so slightly different than the one that came with it. Incidentally, the one that came with it was a Runcam Swift Micro. Which is one of the ones that doesn't have a back or any sides on it. It's literally just basically a lens bolted onto the sensor. But it was in 16:9 and I couldn't get it into 4x3, and it was doing my head in trying to fly, so which is why I ended up putting the racer in there. So yeah, anyway, it's 140 grams. Obviously you can probably knock 2 or 3 grams off the antenna and the camera, so let's call it 137. And then battery. Now, here's the saying, these are the 650s. They do a 450, and I think they do an 850 as well. So let's just see what that comes in at. 207. No registration for this one then. So all in all the parts that come with it, you know, it's well worth the 130 quid it costs, to be fair. In fact, I don't even think it's that now. I think they're 120. So to be honest with you, for 120 quid, you can't go wrong. It's a good strong frame. I've had multiple crashes with it and still not managed to snap it. The motors seem to be holding up well. It would have been nice if it came with an extra set of props, or an extra couple of sets of props. You know, props aren't expensive. They cost buttons, and I understand manufacturers have got to, obviously, you know, try and keep costs down to make more money. You know, it's just part and part of business. But realistically, for a couple of, you know, an extra probably 30 pence is what it would have cost them to knock them up. You know, it would have been nice to obviously have an extra couple of sets of props in there. But hey ho, I'm going to pick some up from quadcopters.co.uk. You like that little plug? I'm going to pick up some from Quadcopters on, hang on, tomorrow. I'll have to go get some because they're not open on a weekend. So we'll nip up there and go and get some of them, and then obviously we'll have some more props to have more fun with. Right, anyway, so that's basically what's in the box, and that's also a little bit of a background on it. I suggest now I'll just tidy up, and I think we'll just go and take it out to the field. So we'll nip out to the field in 3, 2, 1, boop. Alright peeps, so yeah, we've been through all the techs and the specs of everything, and we're now just out at the field. We're going to go and take the 3-4, what?
Hi from the squad, yous!
Whatever he said. That's my little fella anyway, Callum. And daughter's over there as usual. So yeah, anyways, been through all the spec of the 349. We're now currently out at the field. I'm just going to go and give it a rip, and obviously do a bit of commentary over the top of it so you know exactly how I feel. So now we're up and we're obviously whipping off past these trees. The power of this thing's unbelievable. You know, to me it flies more like a 5-inch quad on 5S. It's just the power is just there instantly, and because of the weight of it, it rips is the only way to put it. The general tune of it flies really nice, as you can see. I'm having to make the odd little adjustment here and there, but I'm still trying to get used to how it flies. I have noticed that the feed forward seems to take over a little bit too early, shall we say. So I'm currently experimenting with adjusting the feed forward just to try and get it to fly how I like it to fly. But nonetheless, it flies really flipping well. It's just that, I don't know, I can't explain. It's just a feel. But yeah, so obviously we're running on 4S with obviously the tattoo batteries in it. And it's locked in. It's really locked in, and it just flies so nice. There's no other way to really describe it. As you can see then from the way it flipped up that tree, you know, the punch is always there. It's got more than enough power, and yeah, it's really nice. So, and right, so now this is a different day. This is the local golf course just on my way home from work. We just go whip a couple of batteries off. So I thought it'd be the best place to go would be here. You know, it's nice, tight, confined. Yeah, there's cars quite close by, but realistically, I might hit one, but I wasn't planning on. But yeah, so as you can see, I'm starting to get used to it by now, and just generally the way it flies and the tune on it. Now I had adjusted the feed forward within this as well. The feed forward it's set in itself is as it was. But if you go into beta flight and go just under the I-turn rotation, there's another feed forward setting there, and I'll put the name of it in the video now. It'll be somewhere on the screen. Yeah, basically turn that on, and when you turn that on, that seems to get it to fly the way I wanted it to fly, and it generally feels more locked in, even though it felt locked in the first place. Now, as you can see, I've got a lot more confidence with it now, and I'm willing to go really close to things and just, you know, rip through them with flat chat. But yeah, it's just amazing. So coming into land now, because this battery was one of the old 650s they've got, so it doesn't last too long. You know, you kick its head in for 3 minutes and that's it, battery's dead. Unfortunately, when you've got the new packs on, the new batteries, a newer battery should I say, you tend to get around 4.5 to 5 minutes flight time out of it. So, but yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna I'll let you go. I hope you found this informative. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, if you want any more information regarding it, then just give us a holler and let me know, and I'll try to provide everything I can. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. It's somewhere on the screen, probably on the right hand side. And give us a thumbs up and leave us a comment. You know, have you got a 3-inch that you prefer? And obviously I'll see if we can get it in and we can, you know, do a side by side comparison. Cheers guys. Bye bye.